Use the pen tool. This is setting us up to get ready to do our levitation photography and how to edit that. So today you need to successfully be able to cut things out. You need to find some kind of landscape, and you're going to be adding 5 objects to it. The more humorous, the better. I don't care how random it is, as long as you're learning how to cut out things. It does not have to be a farm. It can be anything, but try to have something in it that has something you can tuck someone in behind. I do want that. When you go to search, like a pig, once you're on images, go to tools and put it on large, so that, like when I look over here, this tells me it's got 2,000 pixels by 1,300. It's a crisp image. You don't want to work with stuff, and I'll show you an example. One of the things I'm cutting isn't super clear. When you go to photopea, open up, this is going to be my background, and I'm going to place something behind this horizon line popping up. I have a unicorn, and I have the guy from Ocean Spray, but like when I zoom in on him, he's not super crisp. So he's going to have to be super tiny for him to even look halfway decent. So to cut out the unicorn, I guess I'll work with him. The pen tool looks like a fountain pen. And when you click on this, your preset is going to be on shape. You need to make sure it's on path and make sure both of these are fill type nothing, stroke nothing. If it starts filling in a shape, it's wrong. And then I like to zoom in on whatever I'm cutting out. So back to the pen tool, and then it's just laying down little anchors. And you kind of want to split the difference. This is actually a good picture to see because I can really see the pixels in him. And all you're doing is laying down these little anchors. For the sake of the tutorial, and this is one thing where photopea does not do as good a job as Photoshop, because Photoshop I could really curve these nicely. But I'm just gonna click around really quick. I'm gonna cut them off here and come back this way. You can only go back 30 steps in photopea, so that's another problem too with this, without paying for it. The hand tool will help you, like if you need to shift around. I'm just using my mouse, but that's one thing you might need to know. And Control Z is step backwards on your all's keyboards. So come back and you can connect the last one to the first one. Nothing will happen. Go up to Make Selection. It should be set on this. This is like add double selections, take away. First one, hit OK. But then what we need to do, this will cut this exactly. It's going to be a super hard edge. I want to do what's called feather it just slightly so it's got a hint of a fuzz to it so it doesn't show all my imperfections. So I'm going to go to Select, Modify, Feather. And here, a 1 or a 2, depends on what you got. I'm going to put in a 2 because that was a really bad job. And then if you guys will notice, this is just like the button thing, this marquee that's around it. So we're at the point where we drew the circle with the buttons. So to move it over, I just hit Control C. I go to my field, Control V, and there's my guy. And then when I go back to the moving tool, you might have to reselect these. Depends on if you're logged in or not. I can just place him where I want to place him. So for my unicorn, I'm going to cut this out so bad and chunky, but I just want you to be able to see this other part. Unicorn. Don't do this, don't do this. I'm going to take his tail off. All right, sake of tutorial, moving quick. Don't do this. You guys need to be able to like cut out people and stuff to make this so perfect. So make sure you're understanding that. All right, I've connected it. It was Make Selection. I've done a terrible job of it, so I'm going to go back to Select, Modify, Feather. It stayed on it, so that's good. Hit OK. I'm going to copy it, Control C, paste it. Okay, what I'm talking about, like trapping it in the landscape so it kind of looks a little bit real, is I'm going to kind of put him over here. I'm going to click on my layer, and you can see where it's starting to build your layers. I'm going to go to Background. If your background's locked, if there's a lock here, you can just kind of double click that. It'll go away, hit OK. I'm going to go in with my pen tool and zoom in. This needs to be a very clean cut if you're doing it. And I'm going to click along my horizon line here. And I don't need the whole thing. Now I'm going to kind of come down. I'm just cutting this chunk of land out. connected it, I'm going to do the make selection, hit OK. It's already feathered. The keyboard command for this is Control J, which means layer via copy, or it's a selection. Or layer, sorry. Layer via copy right there. So I'm going to hit, and I make sure I'm on my background, Control J. And what it did, if I turn the eyeball off, is it copied this. So now I have my background, but I also have that. And I can take my unicorn, move it over here, and then when I rearrange my layers and move the unicorn under that cutout, now there he is popping out. So it creates that illusion that he's like there. That's what I'm talking about. I want you to, with the pen tool and with starting to get up here with your layers and your selecting. So the project is to cut out 5 things. If you do not finish this today, you need to file, save as PSD. Here, I'm going to have this video tutorial here. There's a sample. This is my old